So we will start with the session. Okay. So I'll just give a quick intro. So hi guys, this is Dr. Satish here. We are going to have this session on Masters in Healthcare Management, or how do you make the shift into healthcare management after BDS. We are having to us IHMR faculty. We have an associate professor, that is Dr. Rajeshwari, with us, and assistant professors Dr. Isha, Dr. Akash, and Dr. Nisha. They're going to help guide us with all the regular questions we have. So I have come up with a set of questions based on the feedback from the audience. Okay. Once we are done with these questions, if you guys have any other doubts regarding the course, how do you make the shift, any personal things, you can put them in the chat box below and we'll try answering it as well. Okay. So let's begin the first question. Okay. We'll start with Dr. Isha. As Dr. Isha has told that she had finished her BDS, worked in the non-clinical field in various positions, and then she went into the healthcare management sector. So I want to know, once she got into the non-clinical field, why did she feel that the healthcare management is a complement to a BDS degree?
Interesting question. And I'm going to say something very controversial because the way that I've seen my peers and, like batchmates, juniors, and now students, I see that dental students actually have slightly more edge over other disciplines. I might be completely wrong, but this is what my observation
Yes,
is.
that is controversial.
Yes. The reason I'll tell you one which I feel is see, as compared to MBBS, we have slightly better balance when it comes to studies. They have overnight surgeries, overnight residencies. We don't have that. We have the luxury of not having that. So even though we are in the same field, we are studying majorly, like a major chunk is similar, but still we have that time. Also, when we are treating patients, because see, the thing is, if you have any issue with, like probably your feet, your hand, your heart or something, you can consider going to another doctor. But with dentists, this so happens that if you have found one dentist which suits your temperament, your persona, you will go to another city to consult them. And
Yes.
this kind of teaches you a major chunk of soft skill, negotiations at multiple levels, that convincing factor. And because of this, I feel that the management is kind of ingrained in us. And that is why I feel that whenever any dentist decides to go ahead with a degree like this, it kind of marries their graduation stream and post graduation stream very nicely. So I also noticed that, as Dr. Nisha has very rightly said, that there is a push and pull between your graduation and post graduation. For dentists specifically, I strongly believe it complements and marries very well. So you just extend whatever you have learned, whatever terminologies, whatever skills that you have learned during your dentistry, and you kind of let it grow into yet another vertical, which is management. That is my entire idea of it.
Understood. So you've well put it. You have said that because we are dentists, we are already told that we need to focus on our soft skills. And that focus on soft skills helps us in the management aspect as well. And your
Yes,
basic understanding of terminology and functioning of how a dental clinic or a hospital functions helps you in understanding how healthcare management functions as well.
absolutely. And a lot of us actually also start practicing even when we are, like when we enter third year, fourth year, we also start practicing parallelly, right? Along with our postings and all of it. So from there, you also start learning how to manage your own setup or how to assess doing that. So that also adds up to it.
Great. So my next question is to Dr. Rajeshwari ma'am. Now that we know, like how Dr. Isha has put it, that it complements, BDS complements your master's in what sorry called healthcare management degree. Now imagine a student from BDS has done this. What do you think are the government job roles dentists who do this healthcare management can get into? Because you've seen a lot of
Okay.
batches. What have you seen them get into, and what have you seen the various opportunities available for them?
Yes. Actually, I think the job roles for dentist is much more than whether you are a non-medical or an MBBS doctor. Uh, I would say if you can definitely go back and manage your setup in a better way, or join a chain, dental chain, and manage their chain for you, or else you can definitely join a hospital and work in various disciplines from operations, quality, supply chain management, end to end, anywhere we can fit in a hospital setup. in a healthcare setup, I think you can work on various health projects, and you can join an NGO and manage their health programs if you have taken up healthcare management. And if you have a flair for technology, you can take up healthcare IT management and look at the implementation, development, scaling up, and also research. In all the areas, you can definitely contribute a lot. And also, as a doctor, you are encouraged to join the pharma industry to manage their projects. I think the arena is like really, really wide, and it depends on uh, each person's capability, skill, their interests. I think it's an immense opportunity for a dentist in health and hospital care management. Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good point you told Dr. Rajeshwari, because what we usually think, now, if I get into healthcare management, I'll either do that and get into a hospital. People do not consider there are various options other than hospitals. Now, for example, dental chains are blooming. All across the country, there are various dental chains coming. The ones which are there, they are trying to expand. They would prefer having dentists with a healthcare management degree who can help them out. That is the first thing. Second thing, like you told, there is IT. IHMR itself has a complete health IT course as well. So that AI and IT, people would prefer having dentists and doctors because they would have an understanding how to marry the two. Okay.
Yes.
And pharma industry, the evergreen industry, as long as you have human beings, you don't have pharma always. They would also prefer having dentists as such.
Yes. Exactly.
So you have actually put it really well, that what we usually think that after an healthcare management, I can only get into hospitals. That's not the fact. You can get into these various arenas of options out there.
In
Uh,
fact, I have something else to add. Even though
Absolutely.
you have specialized yourself in hospital or health or pharma, uh, since our training is such that we can also switch even after some specialization in a different field. Like you have looked at you have specialized in hospital management. You can definitely contribute in a health setup, healthcare management.
Absolutely.
If you have done healthcare management, you can definitely work in hospital or even pharma industry, where these kind of research or jobs, or development management of projects are in higher demand.
Yes. So there's basically cross transition you can make from one to the other. You do not have to just stick to the exact thing because there's a lot of similarities. Plus, you have a medical background that adds
Yes.
to it.
Yes, definitely.
Dr. Satish, if I can add to something that
Sure.
ma'am has just said, I'm actually one of the biggest example for this. I did my specialization in hospital management. I've never worked in a hospital. I've always worked in different areas. I've worked with a healthcare startup where tertiary medical care, remote medical services, all the product lines were being, like created. So even though I joined in the growth vertical, I was also working on the product. After that, I worked in pharma consulting firm.
Wow.
So I have just been, I've never worked in a hospital. So whenever students ask me, ki, if we take this, is this what we have to do? My answer is you do whatever you want to do, as long as you can justify your role and you can put 100% into it. So that was the point that ma'am said, and I hit me that, yeah, I think I should add this.
Yes.
Absolutely. You're a
I've
living
seen many
example.
of them do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So my next thing is, okay, there are various programs out there. So Dr. Akash, so we already know each other a lot. And you've told me that
Yeah.
this is a program you wish was there at that point of time, or you might have thought of it. So why do you think
Hmm.
that this program, okay, has an advantage or gives the dentist an edge compared to the various average programs out there? What do you think?
Yeah, I think see if I compare what are the options, there's obviously the MBA, the core MBA, like if you go with your GMAT and CAT and you get a core MBA, the problem is that you are always a misfit in that group. And then you have a MPH. The good thing with MPH was it was really a good course if I look at maybe a decade back, because there was really a money flowing in, there was funds that really supported the students when they went ahead. Now, there are two things that primarily changed in the Indian healthcare market. From a long time, how Indian market was operating was that people were looking for the cheapest option available. That was the way the Indian healthcare operated. But today, if you look, the preferences have changed. People say, I don't need better care, I need better. So that quality improvisation, or I can say adding value to healthcare, is adding more cost, and that cost also get transfers to the operations. And I have seen like now about 5 batches that have been passed through me. The dentists are one of the few guys that really fit everywhere. You put them into the pharma, you put them everywhere. They just go and they know pharmacy, they know everything. But if I look from the perspective of packages also, they command much higher package when they do management on the basis that they can still be used as a reserve category doctors in case of emergency. During COVID, we have seen that. So it's like it's just giving you more value, like 2 years you're spending, the water cost you're putting it, but then the options that you get beyond doing that are much more versatile as compared to doing a regular MPH or doing a MBA from say, yeah, if you do it from top tier colleges, yes, you will have a different like IIM will get a different way for you, but then that will require you to get through GMAT, CAT, and
But how
whatever the
many do
other.
actually get into IIM, no?
Yeah,
See, it's very easy to say get into an IIM.
correct. That's why, and the benefit with this is that you have options to learn many things. Till ABDM was getting popularized, no one knew much more about HMIS, EMR, EHR. Today, everyone's talking about that. But then there is still reservation doctor. We have seen many dentists actually doing the job, what we quote as a change management specialist. It's a job that pays approximately 12 lakhs to 19 lakhs also to the student. What is the role? The role is that you talk with engineers, you talk with the doctors, and get them on a level playing field. Like they both understand the language. That's the role. But then that
Exactly
has the
what,
value.
as in what they do. Matlab, just
They try
asking.
to they try to get for example, if I'm implementing an EMR, a doctor will say X things has to be done. He has his own clinical vision there. The engineer says this is not possible. I cannot design in my EMR has this much fidelity only, or I don't have much more space to work around that. Then this is where the change management guys come. They say, okay, you come down a bit, you come down a bit. Let's finalize on one aspect of this, and that requires a lot of
Understanding of both
understanding
sides.
of both the sides. So that value, though looks very small, it's immense for industry, and that is where many of the healthcare professionals really are required. The bad thing in India is that at a graduation part, we are never taught about the digitalization part or health IT part. This is where I think this course really adds. Many students I have seen who are dentists really do well here in this segment, at least the part where they want to create, communicate between the two teams, communicate between different people. So that way, instead of traditional courses, this really fits as a long-term career, and it also gives you options to move across segments. People have gone to there. Our alumni is in Russia also. I don't know what they're doing there, but then that kind of fidelity they're getting there. So that's the benefit you get from this kind of course where and the industry linkage really helps. Like experience matters in life.
Okay, so the best thing you're saying is you not only learn the theory part, you even learn the practical part, and you're on the it's basically you're understanding how an industry works. It's not just the theory.
Correct. Correct.
So that makes a lot of difference when they have to make that shift.
Hmm.
Great. Plus, they understand best of both worlds, so they are able to balance between industry and healthcare. They are not just tilted towards one side as such.
Correct.
Okay. So now, Dr. Isha, if one of the people who are watching this video are keen on getting into this course, what is the basic eligibility criteria for enrolling in the program?
Understood. So one thing I would like to clarify, even though this is directed towards dentists and any students at this point of time, but students from any educational background can opt for this program. And they need to have minimum 50% qualifying marks while they graduate from their undergraduate this thing. And they also need to appear for an AICTE approved management aptitude test. So
Okay.
this could be the likes of CAT, ZAT, ATMA, and all of that. And to briefly give you an overview on the admission process, once all these eligibility criteria are, like they're set in place, they know that they're eligible for it. They can apply either online or offline. We have a specialized admissions team, a counseling team, which can help them at every step to understand
Okay.
how the process goes like, and if at all any counseling is required, if at all they have any questions. And once their all of their applications are reviewed, the selected ones, they will be called for GDPI, and it could be online, it could be offline, depending upon the circumstances. And then that is how the selected candidates we will move ahead with. There might be students who are still in final year. So for us, for dentists, it does not apply because only after internship we do this. But for other disciplines in the final year also, they can apply, provided that they are able to give us their provisional certificate before they start the classes over here.
Got it.
Yes.
So, Dr. Rajeshwari, is there any work experience required before applying?
Uh, no, it is not mandatory for any person to have work experience before applying. Even a fresher can apply. However, if they have certain experience, it really helps them during placement. They know what to be delivered and how to face interviews. So it really helps in placement, but that is not a mandatory requirement.
Great. So, Dr. Nisha, you were telling about your journey where you made that shift from MBBS, had a break, worked in this. I want to know what challenges do MBBS or BDS graduates face when they make this transition into healthcare management?
Yeah. So basically, when you get into a healthcare like a study like this, so initially some things are like you are like initially in this college it's going through a human process lab. So where you are understanding small things like in which ego you are speaking, child, parent, or adult ego, how the other person is. So it's like going into a transition of knowing yourself and as well as the other person. And so then you are put through all the management courses over here. So sometimes it happens like the subjects which are weaker with you, like maths and all. Thanks God I was good at maths. But if a person who has not taken maths after 10, so the finance and accounting becomes a little difficult for them. But they go through it and they understand it very well. And then comes the HR, the other subjects, which will put you through the management and it makes you to see from different perspectives of the hospital or a healthcare unit. So when you see from different aspects, what happens exactly, the challenge which you face is the subjects which were weak at your foundation levels. Like if it's maths, then finance and accounting will have. If a person is a non-medical background, then he will have a problem in like we have the medical terminologies and all. So there he will have a problem. So it depends on where the person feels like where his skill set is not aligned. So then that they have a problem. But mostly the challenges are very not big barriers or anything. They overcome it. But when you work, the major challenge comes before you is when you go through a case file, you are just checking over that whether the date is written proper or the treatment is given and everything is fine. My work is to see whether everything is written by the doctor. But sometimes you go deep into the patient's activity, like, okay, they have given this treatment, this is that. So you become a clinician at that time. You should not be a clinician. You are like, you're on the management side. So at work, you have that challenges, but study wise, I think here people because you have people from different arena. So there's somebody who has done from BBA, somebody who have done from BCom. So they pull you out the subjects where you are weak. But the challenge will be basically speaking is like your major shift from your clinician to this one. The pull and push will be inside you that you have to understand.
Understood. So it's more a mindset game. You have to
Yeah.
be understanding that you're going to make the shift. You're going to not be a clinician. You're going to get into healthcare. That mindset has to be there.
Yes.
Rest, basically, you have to be a bit okay with numbers. You will have to be willing, even if you're not okay with it, you have to be willing to learn it. So it's a learned skill. It's not something you need to be born with. You do not have to be an Einstein or something of that sort.
See, it's not like learning exactly, but you should understand the terminologies. Like I'm not going to sit and do finance, but I should know what EBITDA means, what tax after profit, what is the tax. So that terminology I should understand so that when my finance manager is sitting with me, I can understand what he wants to tell.
Yes.
Like that, the terminology should be understood. Because some other person, a statistical person, will do all the statistical work. But you will be able to understand that what is the statistics. So the terminology understanding is important in the course, which we prefer all the students to understand the terminology of different fields. So that when you interact with any other people in the industry, so you don't feel left out.
That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. So basically, IHMR focuses on making them, like how Akash put it, industry ready. It's not that they just have a degree. When they come out, they should be easily be able to be absorbed into an industry or a company, and they should be able to function perfectly well. So for that, it's mainly your mindset you need to work on, understanding that you're making the shift, and rest is a learnable thing if you're willing to put in that effort, right?
Yes.
Great. So my next question is to Dr. Akash. You did dentistry, okay? You got into research, you got into healthcare management, okay? Honestly, is there any use of dental knowledge when it comes to healthcare management? Or it was
Okay.
just start from fresh?
Can I share screen for a second? If it's
Absolutely.
allowed. Hopefully this works. Okay, give me 1 second.
Yes.
Where is it? Okay. Yeah. Can you guys see the image which is on the screen?
Yes, absolutely.
Even in participants, you want to say, you can say yes in the chat. Um,
So participants, if you can see, please say yes in the chat if you can see the image. Yeah, we can see it. You can go
yeah.
ahead.
So if you look at these two images, both of them are kind of patented products. It's the same product but different thing. And you know who holds the product patent for that? This thing.
No, I don't.
It's one of our dental students only.
Yeah,
And it's a
seriously?
completely, she is a second year graduate from IIHMR, and she
Wow.
holds a patent. But then if you kind of, look at why she is doing this project, or it's her project actually, just showing it, sorry. But then she worked in I think she worked for a pedo cases, and the main problem was that when we were giving them injections, they become all cranky. We all know that. So, we all, I think you all guys already would have learned something about the alpha fibers and delta fibers, which conduct a nerve impulse. There's a
Yes.
theory that if alpha fibers get, or the induction impulse is reduced in alpha fibers with cold, while with delta fibers with the vibration. So basically, the product which you see with the batteries, the AAA batteries, the two ones, that's the US made product, which has a patent in USA. While the product that you are seeing in the other one, which has a circuit board and a battery, that's the India product which we are patented. The idea was that, or how the dental knowledge helped was that many people would have came across same things, pediatricians, everyone. But then looking at the knowledge that you have gained of your basic physiology, like how the nerve impulse and conduct, and applying those things, that comes when you talk with multidisciplinary people. It's not that she alone has done it, or she alone has a name on patent. There's also other engineer who is there. But then the benefit is that you always are able to build on a clinical experience. And most of the times what we learned in our dentistry or clinical postings, that's about the human health. So those kind of experiences really help you when you go for management courses. The basic things like how we negotiate with patients for our fees, like extra charge like 800 ka kar do, 500 ka kar do. That things, it's built in us to understand those things. And that comes back, what is client negotiation? Nothing, same thing, you just negotiate for a larger amount. So the things we always have learned somewhere in dentistry, because or we are experienced. We The best thing is that during the exams we'd have paid some patient money and come and sit for my scaling, or come and sit for the class 2 preparation. What we're doing, that we're trying to kind of doing the patient acquisition, patient management, the same things you will do as management. Maybe the scale is different, the processes are slightly better off, but it remains the same. That's how you know close it is to what you have learned in your dentistry. It's and it immensely benefits if you have dealt with patients and doctors, because healthcare is not going to survive without these two factors.
Great. Understood. So Dr. Nisha, you were telling me about it's requiring a mindset shift, okay, for anyone who's done MBBS or BDS to get into this program of healthcare management. I want to know, is there any other specific skills you think a dentist or a doctor needs to learn while making the shift?
There is not exactly a specific skill which I tell, but I want, like basically what I think, my opinion, it might vary. So my opinion is to come with the open mind. Don't think that it will be very rigid, because what's happening is like we always been in a medical science. Like this is the treatment, this is the second line, this is the third line. And management doesn't come like that. There are so many variations. So the variations are already found in the clinician side, but in management side, human brains are different. So let's come in an open mind and be a little curious about knowing things. If any theory is taught, like I take your YouTube channel name itself, Kaizen theory. Kaizen what it tells? It's a very simple theory. It says that do a small chunk of work. So like that, you apply it in your life skill a little bit. So that's how you will learn. So you learn this theory over here, okay, where I can apply. So that the one mindset which every management student or any management student for this, so they have to develop that if any theory is there or anything is there, you need not to apply anywhere, but at least have that curiosity that if this theory I'm learning, where I can apply, whether I apply for this, whether I can apply in OPD, whether I can apply in any other field, whichever you know. So in your life also the same theory applies. So that's what the cell. And but please come because we already have learned a lot of things from first to 12th and then graduation. We learned a whole chunk. So there will be some relearning which will be happening. But until you don't unlearn something, some belief systems or something, so then like a doctor always have the foundation of a hospital, whatever he says it's happened. So if you think that you become a manager, you will happen everything, no, that becomes a different rule. So have that thing inside you that this is not always going to be the same. Unlearn and learn new things from you. So that makes you a perfect combination of a clinician and manager where you have the best of both the worlds and enjoy having the both the world at best.
Understood. So basically, you're telling it is the skill you need to learn is the willingness to learn.
It's the willingness to learn and have the curious mindset. Wherever you go, you just see an ad. Recently, Zomato ad also came up. Like it seems to be very crazy that if food is served on time to the weather god, the Bangalore weather will be good.
Understood.
So it's
So
just
it,
what they have used it. If you understand that, if you see a billboard going on the way, you understand that what they are using, either they're capturing your emotion, your instruments, like if dental picture is put, then you can see the dental ad, what they are putting it. It's with the dental chair and also what they want to showcase. So if this mindset is keep on going in your head, then be sure that you are good at management.
great. So you need to have the openness to learn and curiosity as well.
That
S- yeah, say, sorry,
that is the basic thing.
got it.
Yeah.
So Dr. Rajeshwari ma'am, you've seen a lot of students pass through the IHMR course. I wanted to know, do you think it is a permanent shift into management, or there are some who are doing both management and simultaneously running their practices? And what is your take on it? Personal take as well.
Yeah. Oh, personal take as well. That's an interesting thing. Um, Let me tell you my story. Uh, I shifted to management after my baby, and I had, like, I had to do higher education. I had to do PhDs, preferably from a outside country, and I had those kind of dreams. And after my masters, I worked in various sectors, maybe health tech, NGO, health and family welfare, government of Karnataka, and if I wanted, I would have also started my own practice, maybe in the evening times. But my aspirations of doing higher studies and looking after a child and working did not give me that comfort of also practicing dentistry. But I think once my daughter has grown up a little bit now, and maybe she is in college, and I can have a luxury of time in the evenings, I can definitely go back and practice. And it also depends on whom you're working with, what is the kind of engagement or the demand, whether you are working on the 9 to 5 job, or lot of traveling involved. So it is a factor of
Or a
many
healthcare
things.
startup which
Healthcare
consumes like
startup,
12
and
working
you have
hours.
invested everything in it, and if you have a startup, you are probably working 24 hours on it. for the first 5 years, and then it is in field, then you are into operations, upgrading, and yeah. So I don't think so. It is. Um, I would say it's an exclusive one, but yeah,
To
you
each
can
his own.
definitely go back. Yes, is my personal take on it. Yeah.
Understood. So, Dr. Akash, okay, you have told me that this course has a
Hmm.
lot of practical exposure and it is
Absolutely.
not just theory based, okay? So, could you just shed some light on how it has some practical exposure? Are there internships there? And
Okay.
on what basis is that done?
Yeah. So I think this, if I look at a 2 years timeline, the first major industry interaction occurs is during the summer training program, which is at the end of second semester, or what we call it as a term 2B. That's how the terminology is. So it's a 3 month industry training program where the students are kind of required to work with actual industry as interns. It can be a hospital, it can be a health IT company, it can be a pharma company, it can be even a public NGO. But they have to go there, work. They have to also get a report back with the person there signing on that, saying this guy has worked on some concept, and they have to come back and present the learnings. That helps them to decide what kind of specialization they want to go. But even before this STP starts, there are a lot many interactions that they do with guest faculty who come in here. We also have an kind of center called as Admire Center for Advanced Digital Health. It offers them to connect with engineering colleges, with the other organizations like ambulances provider and other guys, where they can like work as a kind of small projects or other things which based on their inputs of the mentor. So that way, in the first year itself, they would have spent approximately around 3.5 months working on different
Great.
industry link projects or on under in the industry mentor. And when they get complete their term 4B, and they are in the placement sessions, or even when they're placed, they have to work as a with their industry mentor there, who it can be a place company or else, and and put up their decision part. So that's how approximately they spent 6 months with industry and remaining 1.6 months in the campus. That's how the entire design is built on.
Great. So it's not, as you told, they even meet guest lectures and everything. So there are a lot of opportunities to understand and collaborate with the industry.
Correct.
Great. There's just one question from the audience before we move ahead from the question list I have. Do recruiters, when you're joining these, okay, look at your basic degree, whether it's an MBBS, whether it's a BDS, whether it's a BMH. So is it an advantage or a disadvantage once I finish this program?
Um, okay, I will answer if you so yes, they do look at the graduation degrees. We have seen that certain companies actually prefer uh, a, a guy with a medical degree, like basically MBBS and and BDS. Also, if I look at the pay parity, the MBBS guys and the BDS guys get much better package preferences as compared to uh, the even the pharmacy and other guys, but then there's not much difference. But obviously, the BDS degree has a lot of weightage from the placement perspective also, and many companies prefer a BDS graduate. So even in placement, first to place is always BDS guys. If you really perform well and if you know the field, placement is a very smooth ride because you have the degree that supports you back there.
Great. So, Dr. Ganesh, I hope you got your answer. And if any one of y'all have
Yeah.
another questions, y'all can post it in the chat box. We'll try answering them as well. Yes,
Can
Dr.
I
Rajeshri
add?
ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay. Can I
Yes,
add what Dr. Akash spoke?
absolutely.
Sometimes there are certain job roles like medical director in a hospital, where preference is for a medical MBBS graduate, and the second preference will be a dentist, and maybe none to others. So it depends on the job role also.
Okay. So it's based on job roles. In certain job roles, they prefer medical graduates.
Satish, exactly what ma'am said. I was going to say that, and I'll add to this one thing. So even while choosing, one thing that we usually tell our students is that you need to own the degree that you're coming with. It shouldn't be the case that no, I'm lagging behind, or like I have an extra edge or whatever. You need to own the degree that you're coming with, because I have seen students who came from a communication background and still they did much better than other areas because they were not even from healthcare. And in healthcare itself, see, as I said in the beginning, it's a controversial thing, but dentists do have an upper edge. So we are in the safer zone. But at the very same time, I feel that even while choosing jobs, it's always better that you go ahead with an option where your graduation degree also has an upper edge. So
Understood.
that is something that students, like can smartly go ahead with.
Got it. So my next question is, how does this program prepare students for the role of leadership? Now we are talking about job opportunities and everything. Okay. Now if I want to go up the pyramid, I'm doing this master's program because I just do not want to be a somebody. I want to be someone big. So how does this program help them with leadership? So either Dr. Nisha or Dr. Isha, anyone can just take this up and shed some light.
Yeah. So leadership
Tusha,
is,
would you like to take it?
yeah. If you want, you can continue.
No,
No,
it's
no.
okay. Take it. I'll add.
So, being a leadership is like you have seen the spring. So spring goes on the two sides. It's a three-dimensional spiral, which you can see, which goes on both the directions. So it's basically understanding that you have like both the sides. And so during this course, you will be learning any MBA course for that sake. You are learning your self improvement. How you first you understand what you are exactly, your emotions, your connects, and how you are. So whether you get your temperament, your anger, so you understand this one. At the same time, you understand the dynamics of the other person or the other, and you understand the dynamics of the organization itself. So that's what. And recently I read a review on Harvard's Business Review. So they told a leadership inspiring leader should be having the three qualities. One is visionary. So clarity comes when you understand yourself. So vision can be clear and you can explain to your mentors or mentees. So what happens then when your vision is clear, and then you come for eccentric, you become an example to give them. So when you are strong enough and you know your strength and weakness and you know how to handle it, then that becomes your example to stand out in others. And then mentoring, like you first take care of their skills and how it's growing up and all, and then you do that. So that becomes a much good this one. And then finally, these are the things which you will learn. So you are inside also growing and you are growing outside also. That's how you are prepared for be a leadership. So we have other programs over here like your culture and sports and all, where you can take much more leadership roles. We have a like we have a conference which we conduct. So you can take a leadership role in organizing the committee, and you can go and get sponsorship. That's how you learn the negotiation skills with the others to get the sponsorship and all. So in that way, if you want to be a leader, you set up your example, you become over here. So that's what you learn throughout any management course for that sake. So
Understood.
leadership is a part of management. I won't say it's different from management, it's a part of management. You can excel it.
Understood. So the more you learn how to manage things, the more you work on yourself, you automatically are learning leadership skills because that's the basis of leadership,
So you
managing
learn,
others and managing yourself.
yeah, you learn others, and so when you understand the dynamics, then it becomes very easy to work on it.
Great. That's really well put.
Yeah, I completely agree with ma'am. And I would like to quantify it a bit for our viewers because I believe these are in the student stage, right? Majority of them. So for them, probably they might need certain quantification as well because that was what I needed when I was looking ahead for it. कि अच्छा इसके आगे क्या? What else is going to
Absolutely.
happen? So, just to give you an overview, I'm going to categorize basis of the verticals that we have. We have hospital management, we have public health, we have health IT, we have pharmaceutical, and we also have AI and data science. So, basis of all these areas, one thing anybody who is coming with the idea that I am going to go ahead do this course and the first job that I have, I'm going to lead a team of 8. That is not was it going to happen. It's not possible because we are coming from a medical field. Although we are great at what we do, there are certain things, as ma'am said, that you will be learning a lot about yourself. Management is a life skill. You will be learning about yourself. You will be learning about the team that you're coordinating with, and after that, it's an entire journey of self exploration as well. What is it that I actually like? You start at some place, as the name, it's a management course. You will become a manager. So once you become a manager, once you start taking care of one department, you start understanding the corporate shenanigans, then you move up the ladder. And then depending upon your interest, because I have also seen that students in initial days, I wanted to do public health. Then I did one corporate job and I was like, nahi, I think corporate is better for me. Hospitals, I visited in the first year. And there I realized ki, okay, hospital, even if I'm working in a hospital, I would probably like to work in the marketing sector. So MBA, PGDM, management, all these courses, they basically give you the opportunity to understand your own likes and dislikes. You start from the bottom of the ladder, because your first job is never going to be your dream job. Your first job is going to be the job which will teach you. You will learn, you will stick to it, you will put hard work into it, and then you will understand where do you want to go, and then you will climb up the ladder. And be it, like a managerial level, handling a team of 8, team of 10, to taking care of the entire department, to taking care of the entire company, to starting your own company, there are innumerable options, but you have to start from that one place.
That's a very nice way you put it. You've given reality check to a lot of people. People think that the management degree means how I see it in movies. I just go in, I walk in, I'm the boss. That's not how it is. It's like even if you're starting a dental clinic, you have to start from the first day with your first patient.
Absolutely.
Similarly, with a job, you have to climb the ladder. You
Yes,
can
and
reach the
let
top
me
of the
tell you,
ladder.
you definitely can. Let me tell you, if all of these people start, because the placement companies are coming, they will come. For example, let's assume that they have hired you for a senior position based on your skill sets, based on the interview that you gave. You are not going to like the job because you're not prepared for it, because you do not know how to take care of certain things at that point of time. So you grow with the job also.
You have to be ready. It's not just the job,
Yes,
you also have to be ready for the job. Absolutely right.
absolutely.
So now you told me various people are well suited. You told me there is scope, but I have to start at the bottom. Okay. So what should be a salary expectation of a BDS graduate getting into
Yes.
this?
So I can talk about what IHMR Bangalore usually has seen. There are multiple, like companies out there. There are a lot of BDA students, they go directly, but I'm going to strictly talk about IHMR Bangalore. So basis of the recent data, the average package that we have received is around 7 LPA.
Okay.
And the highest number is 24 LPA.
Okay.
So you
So
have
for the
actually asked,
audience, I'll just explain you once. If you do not know this is lakhs per annual income. It's
yes,
per
thank you
year.
so
It's
much.
not per month. So if you're
Yes.
listening to this term for the first time, it is 7 lakhs per annum or it is 24 lakhs per annum. So divide that by 12. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Thank you so much for explaining. I should also have done that. So this is the range. So I'm very glad that both of these questions, they kind of came in continuation with each other, because even when you're starting from scratch, you are getting a decent salary.
Not as
So
much, not
imagine.
very less the dentist earn in a dental clinic.
Exactly. So you are starting from a decent package, and the range itself shows us 7 to 24. Where do you fit in? That is where your hard work comes in place. There will be people who will take the average package, which is also right if you're getting the right learning opportunities. There will be people who will take the highest package too. So it depends upon the kind of work that you're coming with, the kind of work that you're putting in for these 2 years that you're staying here. And as Akash sir had said, that we are very industry ready. We have multiple like sessions and programs where industry networking is happening on a very high level. Our alumni contact and networking is also very strong. How well a student utilizes all of this, so the college has provided, but one student will take more, the other student, it depends what area do they want to fit in the scale. So straight away answer, the range is 7 lpa to 24 lpa.
Great. So Dr. Akash, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where Dr. Isha was telling about you. She was telling that you told you can get into various positions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know if BDS graduates apply for hospital and healthcare organizations. Forget about the IT, forget about everything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Core hospital and healthcare.
Got it.
Are there jobs available and can BDS students fit in?
Yeah, I think the jobs are plenty for BDS students in hospital also. I guess we recently had met with someone who is running a NABH accreditation company for dental clinics, and he was offering jobs to dental graduates. So, in a hospital also there are a lot of jobs. The most preferred or the most high-paying ones are the quality-related jobs like NABH accreditation consultant or NABH things. Apart from that, the other segment that somehow the dental guys are missing out is the digital marketing part and the what we can call as the marketing segment. That has a huge scope for BDS colleges because general marketing graduates fail to understand the hospital needs. They are not able to place it properly. The user research, UI UX part, that they are not able to do better. This is also one area where hospitals are in kind of dire need of people, but they are not able to find the good ones because they are either find someone who lacks the clinical skills but knows the tech part. So that's where I think they fit well. And there is certain this thing in India because of the growing industry, hospitals are actually increasing in number, private players are there. So that segment is still has a huge growth potential apart from what IT we are saying. So yeah, there is a job opportunities and dentists always fit in those roles.
Great. So now we have spoken about once you finish taking a job, working in the various fields. Okay. Imagine I am this entrepreneurial kind of a guy. I want to do this course, so I learn the basics of management and I want to start my company. Does this program at least make me 10% or 15% ready to start my own healthcare business? Maybe in marketing, like you said, maybe in any other field. So I would like each one of you, all four of you, all, Dr. Rajeshwari, Dr. Nisha, Dr. Isha, and Dr. Akash, each one of you to give me your take on whether one should eventually start their own venture.
Can I go first?
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, I just kind of took the thing.
No, no, this is
So what we have under the Admire, we have something called Thinker Foundation sponsored Health Incubation Center. It's one of the kind in the southern India. Like we have one in Jaipur, but the second one is in IIHMR Bangalore. We have, I guess, now 3 startups who have been grown from our campus. They are by our students and they are in different funding rounds. Some of them are seed funding, some of them are in the Series A, but they have grown to a stage where now they are graduating from IIHM Bangalore as a startup and going in the industry. It's very unique for IIHMR, not only Bangalore, but even the other campus we have, that we really have been able to understand the requirement of startup ecosystem in healthcare. See, the problem has been that we all come to the education in India has always been like I take a degree to job, like, but BDS
absolutely
always was that what you do after BDS, you do open a clinic. So you were taught to we all learned in a way that we have to manage our own things. The major barrier for changing between entrepreneurship on and the job is that you should have an idea and you should be determined that this will work. We support for like what we provide support basically is up to 1.5 to 2.5 lakhs for basically the product type to get your prototype into something called as MVP stage or market viable product stage. That's the stage what the guys define. With that, uh, the product is where you can go with a registration, you can go with I patent and in companies at other things that the regulatory kicks in, and you can start raising the funds. So we support in terms of not only building your company but also getting your products, the research that is required, and that is completely managed by a separate organization which is partnered with. They're called Thinker Foundation. They are doing a lot into IT and entrepreneurship. So it's completely professionally managed by a professional entity without any additional cost to the startup or to a student. Only thing that they charge is a statutory GST and other things because that has to be paid. So that's how the IHMR's ecosystem works. Like we have ingrained everything built in. We already had 3 students who have been working on the startups, and many of our alumni already had their own companies. Santa, which is a bigger company, it's already by our alumni. So that's why they already had this, the DNA of entrepreneurship built in those guys. Yeah, that's from my side.
great. Yes, Dr. Rajeshwari, ma'am.
There is there is a question from the audience which says, "Can we apply for a PhD abroad, USA, Australia, New Zealand after completion of PGDM?" With your permission, I would like to answer the
Absolutely.
question. Okay. Um, our PGDM course is equivalent to an MBA course. We have an equivalency certificate from AIU, Association of Indian Universities, and that qualifies. It is not a 1-year degree; it is a 2-year degree. if you have any 4-year graduation degree plus 2 years degree, you are qualified to take up PhD in India and also anywhere abroad. So that is a big yes for my side for that question. And there's another question, cost of the course. I think we are at 8 lakhs, and we offer different kinds of scholarships for various scholars. And yeah,
Ma'am, that's
that
8
is
lakhs per annum or
no, for
the entire
8.5
course?
for the whole course.
Okay,
Yes, that includes even placement and additional soft skills training, everything included.
great.
Yeah,
That's
8.5 lakhs for the
yeah,
two
that's
years.
very feasible in today's day and age.
Yes, of course. I see you. Even undergrad courses are like, it is much more than that. I mean,
Yes,
seeing
absolutely.
insane amount being charged by various institutions, I think. And our institute is also accredited, NAC accredited with A grade, and that is like, top score, and all the universities abroad will definitely line up for a candidate who is interested. And if they have good flair for research, I think that's a great thing they can do.
Great.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, any points, take home points for the audience out here from each one? Ma'am, you can start.
I think when I was looking for these kind of opportunities, like 14 years back, I was not aware of this, and definitely, if I would redo the whole thing, I would definitely join IHMR for sure, for because it is value for money, the great training, and it's valid all over the world. The biggest plus point, if I wanted to do PhD later, I mean, I would definitely re-register myself. You had to do it, so that's a big yes, I think. Yeah.
Great. Dr. Akash, any take home advice for our audience?
I mean, I think not much I can say, but see, one thing that we have seen, and that is what the entire thing, healthcare in India is much more complex than what we have seen in the field, and going forward, the sector is going to become more organized. Even if you are a dentist, you will need to have, like, even if you're practicing dentist, there will be need to have some management deals. So even if you're already practicing, you are saying, no, I'm still very happy with dentistry. This course is nothing that can change the way that your practice is going to be. It will enhance how your practice is going to do. More so, I think there has been certain kind of plateau in dentistry in India. It's become very difficult to start a clinic and survive. Um, so there's always alternatives. This is one of the best we can offer at this point in industry. Tomorrow things might be different, but then you need to keep on upgrading to survive in this field. That's the only thing that I can say.
Great. Dr. Nisha, your take.
My take will be like, if you have a pull towards management, then there's nothing which you can stop you and doing this one. So it's just you learn the perspective from the course makes you to learn the perspective from everything. Like the previous question was like how you can run your own business. So in that way, I wanted to like just tell, like Isha is a marketing guy. So she can like, we take your dental, if it's, you are going to buy a dental chair and you are a owner of a business, you are buying a dental chair, so you being a doctor, you will see the interfaces of that, how it will work and what all we will. And Isha being a marketing person, she will see how to sell it off and all. And if I make Rajeshwari ma'am, so she will do a research and she find out that how we can get it. And being Akash, being from like having more tech guy, so he will understand what are the how the technology, and if investment on this, I should wait or I will get a new upgrade. Let me see what is the new upgrade and should I invest on this. So in that perspective, when you run a business, you take all the perspectives and be like, if finance guy sees it, this is okay, what the return on investment I will get. So at what time, and after buying 3 years only, I will get this return on investment. And so you get the overall perspective from everybody. So the running the business becomes very smooth for you because you understand the terminology from over the 360 degrees. You see not only from a doctor perspective, you see from 360 degrees. So what happens when you see from every side, then you understand the dynamics and all. So my take is surely go for it. If you have a management, run it. At least nothing, at least you will improve your seat. Like you will improve. You will understand. You will improve that soft skill. You will improve. You're having a good thing, which is very good. You have inside it. You bring it to the world. You understand it. Your relationship improves with people. So, and I don't know, but when India is going to bring management, self-management courses in school, that's a good thing, like in abroad and all is that. I say, please go for it. Do it if your heart wishes to go for a management side.
Absolutely, you put it really well. Okay, that this course, management healthcare, would give you a 360 degree of how everything functions, and you just do not look from one perspective. So you can use any of those perspectives and go through any of the opportunities out there. Really well put. Uh, so, Dr. Isha, what's your final take?
I would just like to say one thing. This course is for those students who can hear a small voice in their head saying that I like where I am, but I need something more. That's the only thing. So on the screen itself, you see people here. I'm a dentist, and I was just introduced as a marketeer. There is another dentist who is introduced as a tech guy. That is the beauty of it. We liked what we did. We were good at it. But this is probably another side of the personality that wanted some exploring, and management gave us that. So if you are liking where you are, but you still feel that no, I think that there is something more out there which can help me broaden my horizon, management is something that you really, really have to do, because then you will get an entire 360-degree holistic approach to understand where else do you fit.
Great. Got it. With that, we would end today's session. It was really amazing to get four different perspectives of four different people who went through different journeys and ended up in similar positions and realized that healthcare management is something which is going to boom in India. And if you feel you have that pull towards it, like they have stated, you should go ahead and take the leap. Thank you, Dr. Rajeshwari, Dr. Nisha, Dr. Akash, and Dr. Isha for taking your time and joining us today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for hosting the session. It was amazing chatting with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.